Hello, Kriksis here, and welcome everyone to this super cozy, super chill painting session. I am going to sketch some clothing and play both with watercolors and colored pencils. So if you want, you can join together with me. Before we start, grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee or any heartwarming drink and like this video so it could reach more people. Okay, and now let's go to the top-down view. So last year I did a video, I think it was painting every single day for a week, and in one of those days I actually started sketching the dresses I have in my collection, and then I started sketching knitted garments, some of which I have made in the past, some of which I thought I will do in the future. And I also did one page with a little bit of fabrics and then things I want to sew. And yeah, this is how it looks right now. And I thought I could sketch more things and kind of play with watercolors, play with things I would love to make. Because if you don't know, I do have a hobby in the evenings. I'm knitting most of the time. And I also really wanted to restart sewing, which I have done in the past. So I'm just gonna grab a sketchbook, and if you want, grab a sketchbook as well, and let's sketch some clothing together. I'm just gonna put that one on the side. So this is the sketchbook I will be working on. It is Nina Costford, actually. Nina Costford sketchbook, and it's soft cover, and I really enjoy working with alcohol-based markers on it, but it's great for like sketching, and it's alright with mixed medium as well. This is actually what I did 2 days ago. I sketched some vintage haberdashery, which I have at home, and I really enjoyed it. I think like whenever I'm really into like a thing, either it's like a hobby or art subject, I go all in. So it's really hard to do something else, and I think that is with this sewing as well, which I'm currently really into. So I thought I'm just gonna sketch some dresses and some things I really want to make. So hopefully this is cozy video to watch or have as a company. I'm just gonna sketch a dress which I actually just made, and I guess I will just do like little history check. I was studying in art high school, which basically meant that besides doing the high school, I had art subjects, and the art subjects I studied was painting, drawing, composition, and then the focus for me was knitting, sewing, kind of like fabric arts, fiber arts. So I learned how to sew, how to construct my own sewing clothes, and I also learned how to knit. And for those 4 years, I was like really sewing and knitting. And I guess after that, I didn't really like do much from that moment. So yeah, I kind of realized that in pandemic, when 2020 hit, I realized I really want to pick up knitting. So I started knitting in the evenings, and that has been my joy in autumn, winter and spring months. For some reason I don't knit as much in summers, but I do enjoy cozy evenings. So I have been knitting a lot, but I haven't sewn a lot since that moment. I have tried several times, and I have literally sewing machine in my view when I sit at the desk, and I had this view for like last year, and I thought I really want to just pick up it again and try again. And I kind of came into the sewing world really confidently, only to realize that I don't remember almost anything. So yeah, it's been quite a journey for me to just accept that like if the time has passed, you probably need to start over. And in last month, I learned how to sew really, really simple t-shirt pattern. I followed video tutorial. I realized that for me, visual information is the best to learn. And actually, let me know in the comments, how do you learn new information? Do you learn by reading about it? Do you learn it visually or like watching a video? I'm really, really curious because I think everyone is so different. And that is what helped me to go back to it. And even though last year I sewed that pinafore apron, that was like pure improvisation. So I really wanted to go back to the sewing and learn all the proper techniques, how to do things. So after that t-shirt, I just thought, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go for the dress. And now it's going to be more complicated, but at the same time, I will not grow if I don't go out of the comfort zone and tackle something a little bit harder. So I picked another pattern with video instruction. So yeah, this has been like what I have been up to. By the way, I just sketched all these dresses, and I am going to be using watercolors. This is one of the sets I made, and it is consisting of all handmade watercolors because I really, really love handmade watercolors. And yeah, I think I will just do like wash, and then I will add some pencils on top maybe. I think I will start with like a mix of Morellone Caput Martum and walnut bark stain. I'm going to paint this quite in dark color. Okay, I just zoomed in because I want you to see it more closer. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing kind of like a wash with watercolor. And I'm allowing watercolor to do its thing. So if it's not even, I think that's the beauty of it. And the dress you can see here is actually the dress I just made. And I made it from 2 separate fabrics. And I wish I didn't do that because I think it taught me a little bit more about confidence when I came into that project. I wasn't that confident to tackle it, so I just thought I'm going to go with 2 different fabric remains that I had. So the upper part is more darker and lower part is lighter there. And yeah, then I decided I'm just going to dye the dress in one color, so it will be dark brown. So as this is drying, I'm going to do the next one. And the fabric, I'm going to just cover it in the fabric color. And this is the fabric I got recently, and it's kind of one of my next projects I want to create. So I just thought I'm gonna just do it right here. It's kind of like I'm creating a mood board with the things I want to create. And I guess I'm also trying to embrace that I like different hobbies. I think a couple videos ago I mentioned that I am like fleeting hobby type of person. And I love exploring different ways how I can be creative. And I think it's really tricky sometimes because there are hobbies which I pick and I think like this is going to be forever thing. And after some time I'm just doing the next big thing. So yeah, it feels like I'm ever changing. It's kind of like my art style is really changing all the time. I think it's the same with the hobbies. They just change, and I mean, some stay for a longer time. If I'm talking about like knitting, this is the hobby. It's still like one of the main hobbies I'm doing. But other hobbies are just coming and going, or like here for some time and then something else comes up. Okay, I did the first layer, and because I added a lot of water, these dresses are still drying, so I'm just gonna move to the lower part, and I'm going to sketch some other outfits I think would be really lovely to sketch. I think my Pinterest right now is like covered with mood boards of different textures and linen fabrics and combinations. And even though I don't think I'm like really like a stylish person, I really love, I guess, more hobbity type of clothing. I love knitted vests or linen blouses with puff sleeves. And I really love in the Netflix show Anne with an E. I love pretty much all the clothing that is there. So maybe something a little bit Edwardian, but with a modern twist. So this is kind of, I guess, where I'm going with my wardrobe, and maybe like a vest could be fun. Okay, maybe like a rusty type of skirt could be fun. I had actually a linen skirt, but I wore it so much that it literally came apart. And this is actually really, really fun to just imagine clothing I could have. Have you sketched something like that as well in the past? Just sketching clothings you would love to have? I think I did it with art supplies actually. I sketched some stationery that I really just love how it looks visually. And I didn't necessarily buy it, but I think when I sketched it out, I just really loved how it looks. And it kind of prompted me to pick a brush and sketch. Okay, so this is all semi-drying. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. I am going to do some textures, and I think this is what I really love about painting clothing. And if you have seen my watercolor illustrations, you know that I love to add some textures, either like checked pattern or line pattern or whichever. So I'm just gonna do like a checked pattern. And this is Derwent Drawing Ruby Earth color. I love Derwent Drawing pencils. They are one of my favorites. And yeah, I think like all the colors they have, they're like really moody, really arty. So it's just really, really nice to add, especially if I work on something and I can just add them on top. And I'm currently doing art challenge, which is called Ancient Woodland. And maybe some of you have heard about it. I have mentioned in the past. And I'm working with alcohol-based markers, which is a challenge of its own. And then I sometimes add these pencils on top. I think they just help to add more details, or maybe like there is like a tone I want to have slightly darker. So then it kind of works out pretty well. And if I need to add like some kind of lines like I'm doing here, that can also help, because sometimes with a brush, it takes a really, really long time to do these lines. Whereas with pencil, it's so sharp. It's kind of perfect for that. I think this brown one is almost dried. So I'm gonna use the chocolate color. And I'm going to just outline all the lines. And like slightly color the upper part darker. Kind of creating this texture, but you can still see through the watercolor. Okay, so I have this pencil called Krag Green, and this is kind of like a blank canvas, so I'm going to add line second. So there is like this blob of paint, but I haven't done any line work, so I'm just going to improvise a little bit. It's kind of what kind of blouse I would love to make, so it would probably have a collar. I'm not that advanced though to make like a blouse yet, especially with long sleeves, but this could be like my dream dress. And I think it has like tiny little green pigment over here because I can kind of, yeah, I think there is green pigment. I'm just gonna use it as it is. This is how it looks. Let's just do the next one. For this one, it's really fun to just imagine some clothing. So this is a vest, and maybe it could be like a Hobbiton vest. So there would be like buttons on one side, and maybe like a thread or something. Not a thread. I forgot how it's called. I think I want to add one more layer for this one. Okay, this green dress is still drying, so I'm not gonna touch that one. I will do this one instead. And I actually want to make it into this type of pattern. I don't know if you can see it. I really love this pattern, and this is the fabric I bought, I think in Lithuania, and it's linen, and I think this could be really fun pattern to make for this one. So I am going to use more watercolors. I'm just gonna keep the fabric next to me. Hopefully I will not spill on it. Hopefully I will just manage just fine. So it has some blue stripes, and then it has some beigey type of stripes. So I'm gonna start with the blue ones, and just gonna go across. This is the Wallace and Seymour Lapis Ashes color, by the way. It's really gorgeous muted blue, which could be perfect for sky color, or maybe like sea, or yeah, anything really. I'm starting with like subtle color because then I can always add on top. I'm leaving like a big chunk in between these checks because there will be another color coming in, the beige color. So I want to leave a space for that. So far it's looking like big checks, I guess. Okay, while this is drying, I'm gonna paint a little bit darker color for this dress. Okay, maybe that's a little bit too dark. Wait, I'm gonna try to distribute it because I want to add checks again, but I want to add them with like either white or light green pencil. So if I would leave the dress in the previous color, it would be harder to see these check marks. So I'm kind of trying to think ahead. Okay, I think this is a good color tone. So this is still drying, so I'm gonna do the skirt now, and I'm going to use this rusty color again. This is, by the way, Wallace and Seymour Burnt Sienna Bagnoli. And I love that tone because it kind of separates It's a little bit harder to see here, but yeah, it's really magical with watercolor paper. It kind of, you can really see the separation. Okay. This is kind of like session of painting imaginary clothing or clothing I would love to have. So if you did decide to join with me and sketch clothing you would love to have, let me know in the comments, because I'm really curious how many of you are inspired to do the same and maybe sketch your imaginary clothing. I didn't wear vests in the past that much, but I'm really, really into vests at this moment. I think they just like bring this whimsiness to the outfit as a whole. And I have knitted one vest in the past, and I really want to make another one, or maybe even learn how to sew one, because I think they just bring out the whimsiness to the outfit. I just took some tea break, but I'm back. And I thought I'm just gonna continue. This is still drying, so I'm gonna do the stripy second layer. And I'm going to do like a beige type of situation. I don't know why I'm saying type of situation. This is like, it's not proper English how you say it, but I guess I'm not a native speaker, so sometimes I just come up with such a strange combination, and sometimes I don't even notice that I do. So, I mean, I hope you enjoy these strange combinations, how I say things. And yeah, either if you are native speaker or if you're not. I think these are a little bit too dark. But I mean, it's alright. Maybe this part is a little bit too dark. You know what can change it? I am just going to grab like a napkin and just tap it down. I mean, it's almost dried up already, so I can do it in places where it's still wet. I think it's fine. I'm just gonna leave it to dry, and then I might do like a line work around. As that is drying, I'm gonna just tackle the skirt, because I think the skirt is finally dried up. And I'm just gonna do like a line work. So I'm just gonna use darker pencil. This is the chocolate one. It's really, really lovely dark color. And I think it's perfect for outlines. Especially if you want like more contrast. So yeah, I'm just gonna do like these little lines. I really want to make rust color skirt, because I miss it so much, because my previous one is, as I told you, the previous one is almost finished. I can see like holes, and although I could mend it, I think it's a little bit too late, because there are too many holes, especially around the waistband. I think that's where, I think when linen is folded, it's easier to wear it out. I am going to paint a little bit. I know I added like these kind of pencil marks. I'm not sure how I feel about them, so I think I'm just gonna paint over with Wallace & Seymour Verdaccio color. It's such a sunny day today outside. It's been like really, really, really chilly, really rainy weather here in Cornwall. So it's really nice to have a sunny day. I think it's just first indication that the spring is coming. And I already see the birds are searching for nesting spaces, finding the second half, and yeah, just some daffodils are finally out, and also the primroses, although those have been out for some time as well. So it's just really nice to see nature waking up. And yeah, I can see already like buds on the trees. Okay. And I can hear a lot of bird sounds outside of the studio window. I love birds. As you know, I did the book, self-published the book. The birds I have outside of the studio window, they're just really, really inspiring me. And yeah, it's just really great to draw inspiration from nature. Okay, I think this is... I'm gonna leave it like it is right now because I don't want to ruin it. And sometimes it's just, you can overwork things. So I think this is the limit for this dress particularly. I might add for this dress like a little bit darker part here. And maybe like add buttons. And then I'm gonna be alright with this dress as well. I think it's sometimes hard to know when to stop. And I'm not an expert of knowing when to stop. Sometimes it comes a little bit more naturally. Sometimes I just take a break from that picture and then come back and realize actually I'm almost done. So I don't use a lot of like layers afterwards. I think this is still drying. It's such a long time for that green. So I'm just going to outline this dress and I'm going to use again the warm earth color because I think if I will use the chocolate color, it will be too dark and it will be too big of a contrast. So I'm just going to use this one. Okay, I just erased a little bit from this blouse because I realized I want to make outlines in different colors. So this is the Krag green, really lovely soft green color. So I'm just gonna add lines with this one. Maybe I could add like really subtle stripes. I'm just gonna not press really hard. Just gonna do these lines because I think it would add lovely texture to this blouse. And because the color is quite close to the fabric, like the pinkish tone underneath, it's not a big contrast. But I think those kind of patterns I really like because when you squint, it kind of comes as a unified color. Okay, I think it's semi-dried, so hopefully... No, it's hard to see. Maybe I will use white color then. I am going to use white one because I think it will be... I mean, it's not visible. Okay, what should I do? Should I paint the lines? Let me just paint the lines. I know it will be harder, but... I want the lines to be visible, so I'm just going to use the acrylic gouache, misty blue. I'm going to use the Princeton liner brush because I think otherwise it will be just really hard to see the lines, and I really want the lines to be seen, so... Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I'm just going to do these lines. I think my hand is shaking slightly, so the lines are not really straight. But maybe that's the beauty of it, that it's not straight. And there is some wobbles and wibbles and at least it's visible, which is what I was looking for. And now let's do this side. So it will be kind of window pane, checks. I would actually love to make a design for a fabric. I think that could be really, really fun thing to do. I never done anything like that before, so probably completely out of my comfort zone. And I would probably end up with just creating gingham check stripe designs. Or maybe like designs with mushrooms and oak leaves. I mean, that could be fun to do design with oak leaves. Maybe I could try it and just like design my own pattern. I think that would be really, really fun because I do enjoy creating these patterns. It just brings me a lot of joy. And also like sketching clothing, I think it's just something I haven't sketched a lot, but every time I do, I'm really, really happy and I enjoy the whole process from the beginning till the end. So yeah, this is really, really, really fun. Let me just... I'm gonna use olive art color to do kind of like outline. Oh no, it's actually too light. I am going to try to use ink blue then. Yeah, the ink blue is really nice. How should we call this? Let's just call it clothes I would love to wear. I hope I'm writing it correctly. Okay, so this is how it all looks together. I think I'm gonna stop here because I don't want to overwork, but I had so much fun sketching these ones with you, and I hope you had fun watching and listening, or maybe sketching your clothes as well. And yeah, I guess all of these colors, they're really, really arty. These are the colors I would love to wear, and also colors I love painting with. I love all the beiges and rust colors and greens and browns. So yeah, this is just really, really fun session. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. I hope you had fun, or if you sketched together with me, I hope it turned out alright. And if you want to let me know, you stay to the very end of the video. Write in the comments window pane so I will know, as well as like this video so it can reach more people. And without further ado, have a good day, evening, morning, wherever you are, and I will see you super soon. Bye everyone. Okay.